Hello, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Sammy.
And welcome to our delayed but ever so exciting Draw Our Life video.
We're probably the first twins to do this on YouTube. If not, then we're the last ones to do it and the first ones to do it in 2014 because we are behind the times.
That was so important to say that. Oh look, I didn't have to draw a peace sign clearly.
Anyway, we're 22 years old, so that means we're born in 1992 on the 20th of February.
Thanks for that maths. We were born 6 weeks early, and it was a lovely warm Thursday apparently, but my parents can't remember, so I'm actually making that up. Anyway, we were so early that I only weighed 3 pounds 15 ounces.
And I weighed 4 pounds 14 ounces.
I suck. Not. You do.
Apparently I'm a dick.
What most people don't realise is that all twins are actually born triplets. Our triplet was called Keith, and he actually belonged on Mars.
So we shipped him off there at the first chance we got, so he could be reunited with his kind. Anyway, we were in special care for 3 weeks after we were born.
Intensive care.
No wait, it's special care, Nikki. We were in special care for 3 weeks after we were born.
Our mum couldn't see us for 24 hours. Basically, I was born in a natural birth, but as I left the womb, Sammy did a cartwheel and was born face presentation, which meant they had to get the forceps in to yank him out.
So they used these huge claws around my head and pulled me really hard. I came out all bruised and battered, and I had a really long head, see? Ooh.
Eventually, we headed home. This is our car. And there's our house in red for some reason.
Lots of grass, and all 4 of us happily in the car speeding at terminal velocity towards the house.
Things didn't actually run that smoothly. More or less, as soon as we got home in our first year of life, we suffered from what is called cerebral convulsions. And in the middle of the night, my dad woke up to what he thought was a cat throwing up. So he turned on the light and jumped to my cot, and actually, it was me, turning blue,
having a little fit in the corner. There we go. Na 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 na, ambulance, ambulance.
And so they rushed us off to hospital. They diagnosed us with what only can be called cerebral convulsions because it's what it was called.
Every time Nikki had one, I had one, or every time I had one, Nikki had one. We had 40 of them between us altogether. That's so scary. All this time though, Keith was fine. See, there he is with his alien eyes, little freak.
Living on Mars, he was on Mars, obviously, because that's where he belongs.
Anyway, when we were kids, we always used to dress up. I used to love dressing up as Batman, but we didn't share things. Why are we wearing caps?
We didn't share things, and so we had to have exactly the same toys as each other. So if one of us had a Thomas the Tank Engine, we both had the same one.
Anyway, so we got rid of our cerebral convulsions once we had our tonsils removed. That's not a tonsil, Nikki, that's your tongue thing that comes down.
Is that what it's called?
I have no idea.
Uvula. Uvula.
We were 6 years old. We had our adenoids removed, our tonsils removed, and all this time Keith was still loving life on Mars, partying with the bitches with his wine, non-alcoholic because he was only 6.
Happy, lol. So here is us as tiny humans,
little wieners. We are in our cots. We are breaking newspapers,
lol,
having fun. Oh.
So we spent a lot of our childhood years breaking things and causing havoc, which is normal for twins probably, I don't know.
All through our life we saw a lot of our nan and granddad because they were always there to help out our mum, because there were 2 of us and we caused a lot of stress and hassle, as you can imagine.
She was basically there to make sure my mum didn't have a panic attack every time one of us went missing or broke something.
Or had the police called out for some unknown reason.
I mean, this was all prior to the age of 6. Anyway, between the ages of 6 and 12, all the childhood things happened.
We went to Disney.
We went to Disney on an aeroplane for the first and only time until playlist this year.
We were split into different classes as kids because the teachers thought it'd be a good idea. However, our mum was reduced to tears when she heard this because she didn't think it was a good idea.
They need each other, she said. But no, we didn't. It took 4 years before our mum was happy to have children again. I think the convulsions really put her off.
And popping out 2 out of our clacker at the same time.
That was disgusting. Gross. So we now have a brother and sister called Georgie and Joey.
Anyway, we had to move house several times to accommodate the birth of each subsequent child.
Alright, Professor.
We've always had a German Shepherd in our family, and our first German Shepherd, Tasha, died when we were young. And we were all really sad. She meant a lot to all of us. But, dun dun dun! Just after Joey was born, we decided to go and get another German Shepherd, and she was called Sky, and she was our best friend. That's the worst drawing of a dog I've ever seen. Anyway, fast forward a few years, and we went to senior school.
Senior school, which is high school to all you Americans. It was a bit scary considering we came from a school full of 180 kids to one that had nearly 1,000.
When we entered our teenage years, we started to get a little bit rounder. Here we are, like little balloons floating into the sky like angels. As you can imagine, being rounder and being twins, we did encounter the odd bully.
We weren't really bothered by the bullying and we sort of laughed it off. We were very fortunate we had some really good friends.
We met our good friends Amy and Emma at school and we're still friends with them today, our best friends. Anyway, school was fun and we both left with loads of GCSEs because we tried really hard.
We were in the local newspaper because we got 30 between us. Look at that photo.
And we got to college. Not American college for you guys. What is that in the corner?
It's a flag. Clearly.
You couldn't tell.
Anyway, we both studied geology, which is the study of the earth. And rocks, mainly. It rocked.
Haha, funny. Anyway, we met some of our best friends here. We met Sam and we met Linda.
Most of our other friends went to the same college as us, so it was really lucky that we had a great friendship group at college.
We didn't do lots of physical activity, as you can imagine, but we spent loads of time playing video games and hanging out with our friends.
Getting rounder.
And rounder and rounder.
So our dog Sky passed away just at the start of our exams, which is really sad because she'd been with us growing up.
Is that a mouse? What have you drawn? So there was a big hole left after she died, but we filled it with another dog called Ellie, who's our dog that we have now. She's 4 years old and she's named after Ellie Goulding.
Is she?
Yes, she is, that's a fact.
She's currently asleep at our feet whilst we film this part.
And there's a mouse. Why is there another mouse?
It's definitely a dog.
This was a tough time for us. We were doing our exams and our nan, who had previously struggled with cancer, was diagnosed with cancer again, this time in her brain.
This took place just after our 18th birthday and before our exams. So she never got to see us go off to university.
And she's not going to get to see us do a lot of things, which is the saddest part.
She was more or less a second mother to us. We miss her a lot because she was really encouraging and she thought a lot of us. She spoilt us rotten when we were kids, and it's because we was the only twins in the family, we're sure.
She spent a lot of time with us and we still miss her dearly.
She spent a lot of money on us that she didn't have as well. We went to the same university and almost as a sick joke, they put us in the rooms below one another.
Oh, and at this time, we got to our roundest. Fun!
We were definitely comfort eating, but hey, the university might not have been the best time of our lives, but the parties were brilliant.
Having to buy our food ourselves, we started to understand what healthy eating was and what exercise meant.
We were educating ourselves. I mean, at this point, Sammy weighed 21 stone.
And that's about 290 pounds, and you weigh 250 pounds. In the last year of uni, we spent all of our time dedicated to our dissertation.
Our dissertation was 10,000 words each on a topic of our choice.
Our last year was very hard, and it was also very cold because we couldn't afford to heat our house, and it made us sad.
It was probably the coldest winter we've had in a long time. There was so much snow.
We used to look forward to going home and spending time with our friends and family because being at uni made us a little bit depressed.
Which realistically probably didn't help going home each weekend to making friends, etc.
Essex. Anyway, we graduated uni, woo!
We both got a 2-1, which is a really good mark. You can compare it to an A.
Sammy now has a BA in Classics.
We're both Bachelors of Arts, actually, and I'm Niki Alban, BA, History and Journalism.
We're not a doctor though, right?
Of course not.
And then...
Dun dun dun!
Wow, 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 wow.
Excuse me while I try and draw YouTube.
So once we graduated uni, Niki started the Niki Pod.
So I made a video on the Niki Pod called A Thing About Twins, and suddenly my subscriber count jumped and Sammy was getting a bit jealous, so he wanted to start his own channel.
That's not what happened. We thought, hey, twins on YouTube seem to do well, so why don't we give it a go? And in the first month, we'd already racked up about 1,000 subscribers, which was absolutely amazing.
This is what a normal YouTube page looks like, if you don't realise. Oh, and look, we're at 36,000 subscribers now. We've had a lot of opportunities that have come our way through YouTube. We went to Florida, we went to Digitour, we was invited to go on stage at the Hammersmith Apollo, and now, just 1 year on, we've got 36,000 subscribers. That is so cool. Remember Linda from earlier? Yeah, we've been going out for a year now, and I absolutely love her. Anyway, what does the future hold? Who knows?
These are the worst pictures. What is that? Has he got a little willy?
That was us as a model, by the way.
Oh yeah, Keith? Yeah, he still exists. He's on Mars. We don't really speak anymore because there was a falling out, but he's actually the king of Mars. Awkward.
Oh, there's Earth. That was our Draw Our Life video.
We hope you enjoyed it. We put a lot of effort into it.
Maybe subscribe if you enjoyed it, and make sure to follow us on Twitter,
Tumblr and Facebook and Instagram.
And anywhere else you can find us.
Sorry if this was mildly depressing, but we'll see you again on Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.